Hey family, if you're here today, it's probably because deep down you knew it. Deep down you felt it. Deep down something was off. Something was just off, but you couldn't place it. But you second guessed yourself. You gave the benefit of the doubt. You also prayed, you waited, and you hoped. Today, we're going to talk about the signs the narcissist was cheating on you, the signs you ignored. They were glaring, they were red flags, but you and I ignored them. And let me say this is not to shame you. This is not to blame you. This is to set you free, because when you see it, you can heal it. Let me repeat that. When you see it, you can heal it. We'll look at this from both a psychological as well as spiritual lens, because both matter in your healing. Having said that, let me quickly welcome you to this video and introduce myself. My name is Iyabo, and by the grace of the Almighty, I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor. And on this channel, I share biblical wisdom for dealing with the scourge, the pain, and the mess of narcissistic abuse. And if you're serious about healing from narcissistic abuse, you're going to hit the subscribe button right away in order for you to become a member of this strong and supportive community where we hold hands virtually in our fight against narcissistic abuse. Thank you if you just subscribed. And don't forget that my birthday masterclass, it's my birthday this June, and my birthday masterclass holds on June 21st, 2025 at 12 p.m. WAT. And it's online, but you gotta secure a seat by going to yabayale.com/masterclass. Seats are limited, and the topic of discussion is 5 common mistakes survivors make when setting boundaries with a narcissist. We're going to learn how to do boundaries right. Secure a seat at yabayale.com/masterclass. Thank you if you just did that. And so what is the first sign? Sudden unexplained distance. That is the first sign. Sudden unexplained distance. Psychologically, narcissists are masters of detachment. And when they are cheating, they often create emotional space to justify their betrayal. And so the first time you're going to notice that a narcissist is cheating on you is unexplained distance. And spiritually, this is a fruit of deception. The Bible says in Luke 6:44, a tree is known by its fruit. The fruit here is coldness. The fruit here is secretiveness. The fruit here is indifference. And so you just have this coldness from them, secretiveness, indifference, and you'd realize that before this coldness, they used to text back immediately. Now it takes hours. They used to be affectionate. Now they flinch at your touch. You thought they were stressed, but deep down, something in your spirit whispered, this isn't right. The second sign that the narcissist is cheating on you, which you ignored, which I ignored, is projection. Now, projection is another huge red flag. It is a major red flag. And psychologically, narcissists accuse you of what they are doing. They would rather accuse you of what they are doing. And so when they start accusing, you just know that it is what they are actually doing. Cheating narcissists may say, are you seeing someone else? Cheating narcissists may say, you are acting shady. Cheating narcissists may say, why are you always on your phone? Sound familiar? Can you relate to that? I can relate to that. This tactic is called gaslighting. It's meant to confuse you. It's meant to make you defensive. It's meant to distract you from their guilt. Spiritually, this is a strategy of the enemy to wear down your discernment. It's a spiritual tactic by the enemy to wear down your discernment. And Daniel 7:25 speaks of a time when the enemy seeks to quote and unquote, wear out the saints. I actually had to check out that verse of the Bible. It is there, live and direct, that there's going to be a time when the enemy will seek to wear out the saints. And that is what happens when a narcissist cheats on you. Now, that mental confusion, the fog, F-O-G, that spiritual warfare, it is highly intentional. It is highly tactical. It is strategic by the enemy through the narcissist to wear down your discernment, to wear you down. Now, the third red flag that the narcissist is cheating is the charm turns to contempt. The charm turns to contempt. And it's a very painful one, I tell you. They stop hiding their contempt for you. They start to pick fights. They nitpick your looks. They body shame you. They nitpick your intelligence. They nitpick your faith. Why? Because now they are comparing you to someone else. Now they are seeing someone else, and there is a comparison in the works. Psychologically, narcissists devalue you when they are grooming someone new, when they are grooming a new narcissistic supply. This is the devalue stage in the narcissistic abuse cycle. And it's a very painful one, I tell you. Been there, done that. Spiritually, this is a violation of covenant. It's a violation of the marriage covenant. And Hebrews 13 verse 4 says, marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure. The KJV says the marriage bed kept undefiled. I'm a KJV girl, but I'm trying to adapt to other versions of the Bible to be able to understand it better. And the bed undefiled. The contempt you felt wasn't just emotional. The hatred you felt wasn't just emotional. Been there, done that. It's not a piece of cake. It wasn't just emotional. It was a sign that something sacred was being defiled. It was a major, major red flag. It was a sign. And if you're just joining us, I'd like you to know about my birthday masterclass. June is my birthday, and the class is happening on June 21st, 2025 at 12 p.m. WAT. The class is going to take place online, but seats are limited, and so you got to secure a seat by going to iyaboyale.com/masterclass. Go to iyaboyale.com/masterclass to secure a seat because seats are limited, and the topic of discussion is 5 common mistakes survivors make when setting boundaries with a narcissist. Come and learn how to do boundaries right. But don't come alone. Come with a friend. Thank you if you just visited iyaboyale.com/masterclass. Now, the fourth sign you're going to see is a change in schedule and habits. Random schedule changes are going to happen. There will be strange new habits. There will be sudden interest in appearance. You asked where they were, and the answers didn't quite line up. The answers didn't quite add up. They started working late, suddenly, off a sudden. But their paycheck didn't reflect it. They changed their cologne. They started going to the gym. They bought new clothes. They locked their phone. They began to look the part. And you begin to wonder why this new sudden change. It's a major, major red flag. And psychologically, these are signs of a double life. It's a sign of a double life. He's seeing someone else. She is seeing someone else. And spiritually, it's a mask of deception. And 2 Corinthians 11:14 says, even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. It's right there in the Bible. He disguises himself as an angel of light. They were hiding in plain sight. The narcissist was hiding in plain sight, but your spirit was picking up on the lie. Because you got a spirit in you, begins to pick up on the lie. But most often we ignore these signs. The fifth red flag is the smear campaign. That is when they begin to insult you. Maybe you asked questions. Maybe you cried, pleaded for honesty. But instead of compassion, you were met with insults like you are crazy. You were met with insults like you are insecure. You were met with insults like you're too sensitive. Sound familiar? Can you relate with them? I can relate 100% with them. And this is a trauma tactic. It's a way for the narcissist to flip the script and make you the problem. That is what their masters are doing. They want to flip the script to make you the problem. And spiritually, this is manipulation of the highest order. It is pure witchcraft in disguise. Pure witchcraft in disguise. And Galatians 5 verse 20 lists manipulation alongside sorcery. Why? Because it controls. Why? Because it confuses. Why? Because it violates your will. And no human being is permitted by God to violate your will. Even God doesn't violate our will. Yeah. It gives us a free will. And so when a narcissist wants to violate your will, it's going against the dictate of creation. And if they started smearing your name to others too, that was all part of a cover-up. And so they will insult you to your face and also insult you before other people. Now, the sixth red flag is your gut was screaming. There was just this feeling you had that something was wrong. And the feeling was strong. Now, let's get honest. You knew it. You felt it. You dreamed it. I dreamt it severally. Your gut twisted when they walked in the door. The Holy Spirit was trying to show you God is not a God of confusion. When you feel chaos, something is definitely wrong. When you feel chaos, something is going on that is not right. Psychologically, this is called cognitive dissonance. When your mind wants you to believe one thing, but your reality is screaming another thing. So you are split between your mind and your reality. Spiritually, this is your discernment. John 10:27 says, "My sheep hear my voice." God was speaking, but the trauma fog made it hard to hear. And you're not to blame. It's the situation in which you found yourself. I also found myself there, and I made this mistake of not believing the red flags I was seeing. And if you're still in a narcissistic setup, trying to break free, I want you to hear this with love. And I say this with all sense of sincerity. God does not want you in bondage. Cheating is not love. Manipulation is not love. And you are not crazy. And you are not imagining it. It is real, 100% real. And you are being called out of confusion and into clarity. Psychologically, healing begins when you stop excusing what cannot be justified. You just have to stop living in denial for you to start to heal. I didn't heal until I left my denial phase. I was stuck for a long time in denial, but when I left the denial phase, I started to heal. Spiritually, healing begins when you say, "Lord, I choose truth over illusion. I choose truth over lies. I choose acceptance over denial." And if you've left, let me affirm this to you. If you walked away, hear this, out of love. I want you to know that you did the brave thing. You did the courageous thing. You chose truth. You chose you. And that is the most important thing in this equation. But maybe you are still haunted by the what ifs. I can relate to that. What if I was wrong? What if I overreacted? Let me answer clearly. You were not wrong. And I say this with all sense of responsibility. You were being spiritually attacked and emotionally betrayed. You were being spiritually attacked and emotionally manipulated. You were not too much, quote and unquote too much. You were just too real for someone living a lie. Let me repeat that. You were just too real for someone living a lie. Now it's time to heal. Now it's time to reclaim the parts of you they tried to destroy. Now it's time to reclaim your life, to reclaim your power, to reclaim your energy, to reclaim your soul. It's time to reclaim you. And I've got an ebook for reclaiming you. I'll drop a link to the ebook in the description and you can check it out. In closing, I'll say, family, if this resonated with you, whether you're still in the storm or finally on the other side, I want you to know this: you are not alone. Neither are you foolish. You are not broken too. You were lied to. You were manipulated. You were spiritually attacked. But you're still standing because of the grace of God. And God is not finished with you yet. I'm still standing because of the grace of God. And God is not finished with me yet too. And if this spoke to your heart, drop a comment below and say, I choose truth. I'll be in the comments shortly. Let's flood this space with voices of clarity, voices of healing, voices of freedom. And if you need deeper support, make sure you're subscribed, because every day we drop content to help you rebuild from the rubble. We are your partners in rebuilding your life, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And you don't have to do this alone, because healing does work when you heal in community. You were born to thrive, not just to survive. And thrive you will, as long as you're part of this community. I'm praying for you. And I do pray for you this moment that you will never ever be stranded. And your healing is permanent in the mighty name of Jesus. The Lord upholds you as you go through the rubble, as you rebuild. I love you sincerely. God loves you too. And I'll see you in my next video.